be in the know, just how much to show, to know what to do, just jump in the queue, it's tailored to you. So what you gonna do? All in the queue, it's tailored to you. All in the queue, just check out the view. All in the queue. To show, to know what to do, just jump in the queue, it's tailored to you. So what you gonna do? All in the queue, it's tailored to you. All in the queue, it's check out the view. All in the queue. Be in the know, just how much to show, to know what to do, just jump in the queue, it's tailored to you. So what you gonna do? All in the queue, it's tailored to you. All in the queue, just check out the view. All in the queue.
One thing for sure and two things for certain is I'm never going to hear you out if what I'm hearing is stupid. I'm not going to hear that. I'm not going to receive that. That's not my ministry. A lot of y'all sit and give too much of y'all time and effort to people who don't deserve it. Why would you be listening to somebody telling you that 2 + 2 is 92 when you know it's not? That is a waste of my time. It's not of the kingdom. It's not. And I would not subject myself to foolishness, okay? Because I don't like to consider myself to be foolish, so I don't want to sit with it. No, it ain't nothing we can do. We done talking. I'm done talking. I'm done listening as well. Yeah, so I don't know who needs to hear that. I hope it reaches you and I hope it touches your spirit. Stop entertaining foolishness. Because people will start seeing you as foolish or somebody to be played with. And I don't like to be played with. Go play Atari. Go play some spades, but don't play with me. All right, love you, bye. One thing for sure and two. One thing for sure and two things for certain is
up. What is up with you? I hope y'all are having a good evening. I'm coming on with my Harvey meeting recap. I hope all of you are doing well. I'm a little dressed down today. Sorry. A little dressed down today. Little, got a little hat on, little raining off and on out here. I don't know what your weather is looking like, but the weather out here is a little funny. But got my little dress down on, just, let you all know I'm about that life sometimes. Don't ever get it twisted. All right, let me see who's in the building. Let me see now. All right, listen, it's Wyoming, our favorite gal. She's always here. Love that for me. Thank you, Wyoming gal. How are you? I feel like studio lights not lighting. There you go. Now you guys probably are seeing a little bit better. I'm also watching myself on the monitor too, so bear with me. Okay. Condia, what's up? Hey, Dave Bryson. Hey, Master G, how you doing? Hey, French Ranch, what's going on? What it do? And all you other people that don't want to speak, what's up with you? Listen, it's time out for people being afraid to speak in people's chats. We all grown. We don't need anybody's permission to go and chat where we want to talk about what we want to say what we want to. So it's okay for you to speak in my chat so that I can speak back. I definitely want to be hospitable. I want to thank you for coming to take your time to watch my content or to at least listen to my content. So, hey to all the haters, but to all the people that actually genuinely like my content, just speak in the chat. You're grown. Ain't no need to hide. Come out of the bushes and say, hey, go back into the bushes then if you like. Me personally, I just want to thank you for coming on my channel and speak to you. But, it is what it is. Tonight I'm on here to do my recap of the Harvey meeting. And to talk about what is sort of happening or not happening in Harvey. And I just want to say this, whenever I go to Harvey, I love it. I always have a good time at the meetings. I've never been disrespected or talked to any type of way by the police officers. Now, last night, there were, a huge amount of police in that building. And I know that one commenter gave a comment about all of the police that were present at that meeting. And there were a lot more than usually are there. Now, the usual suspects were there. The ones that we normally see, they were inside the meeting, but there were some extra ones there that I had never seen that they told me that are usually out on the street. So I was just confused as to why there was so much extra layer of presence last night. And the extra layer of presence, now those police officers had a very horrible disposition. When I said good evening to them, they wouldn't speak back, and I was like, good evening. Oh, okay, because I didn't sleep with you. So, I definitely can understand some of the residents' comments about some of the police officers and some, training issues or whatever. And Clark want more officers. There was a lot in their room. There was an excess that did not need to be there. Plus, he have his own personal security, so there really is not no need for all of that. What be in there, or even because they have the metal detector that is manned by 3 officers. 2 of them auxiliary. No, I think 3 of them auxiliary. So the auxiliary or the volunteer officers, they man the wanding and the metal detector and the checking your bag. And then you have two police officers that stand by me. There's one in the back, and there's usually one at the door. And then the ones they have outside with the white shirt sergeant. Last night, there was 2, 3, there was 5, 6 inside. And when we came out, there was 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 outside of the door, not including Mayor Clark's personal security guard, whoever he is, that sits over in the corner. So yeah, that was a little bit of overkill, I feel like. And nothing has even happened at any of these meetings that has yet to be seen. So I think that was overkill. Tonight we are going to be using Vivian's footage. Shout out to Vivian. If you do not subscribe to her channel, or go over there, give her a like on her video, subscribe to her channel. And we're not going to be using my footage because I think she was able to zoom in a little bit closer than I was. So as far as the business is concerned, I do have a warrant list that I have been looking over. And so there's a few things in particular that I want to talk about on this warrant list. I think that, to start the meeting off, Colby told the mayor that the packet that she received did not include the minutes. Okay, red flag for me right there, because why are there being 2 packets sent out? So he asked, I think his name is Dominique Randall L., if he received the minutes, and he said he thought he read them. Talani never said anything, I don't think. And I don't know what Tracy said. I think Tracy was the same, where he did not get the minutes, just like Colby did not, because they normally treat them the same. Hey, Succeeding, how are you? And so for me, why is there 2 packets going out? These particular people get this packet and these people get this one. Now, the one thing I will say is I will commend Mayor Clark for stopping and speaking with the deputy clerk. I think that was the deputy clerk, because the regular clerk was not there. I remember him mentioning that something happened in her family. And so I do commend him for not approving the meeting minutes from that August date, because Colby says she did not receive them. So I do agree with that. This business with this finance meeting, because at the last minute, Colby had posted on her page that there was going to be, French Ranch, that there was going to be a finance meeting at 6. I was already preparing to be there at 6 because I felt like there was going to be a finance meeting. And then all of a sudden she posted, maybe like 15 minutes after she posted it was going to be a finance meeting, then she posted that the finance meeting was canceled. And we found out from the mayor that Tyrone, who is the chair of the finance board, that he got in some sort of accident. And they did not, so then he asked the second chair if they had anything. And they hadn't had a meeting, so they couldn't approve bills because they didn't have a meeting. And I don't see how they can approve bills anyway, because the meetings we have watched, they don't tell any numbers. The treasurer doesn't speak. The comptroller speaks, but he does not know the amount of cash on hand. He receives the invoices and he makes guesstimates based on the invoices that he receives. I don't know how you can properly have a finance meeting without the treasurer speaking, because you would need to know actuals. You would need to know actuals versus invoices, which these things are basic bookkeeping, right? Because there may be some invoices that have not been paid, but the comptroller is counting them because they're invoices that are supposed to come in. That would make his numbers totally different from the treasurer, because she has actuals. She can say, well, they are supposed to pay according to this invoice you sent me. However, their money has not actually come in. So I don't know how you have, or even paying bills, or even passing paying bills when you don't have those 2 people talking, and when you don't have those numbers, the actual numbers. And I would imagine that that is the reason, another part of the reason why they are in the 100 million plus debt that they're in. Because at some point we have to stop the foolery. We have to stop the foolery, and we have to deal with what is happening. Not what we want to happen, not what should happen, but what is happening. And so it's unfortunate that they can't get on the same page, and that the mayor won't allow the treasurer to make a report, post a report, do a report. And it's also unfortunate that she's afraid to do any of those things when she has been duly elected to do so. And it's also unfortunate that if she has reported to any higher entity, that no one has stepped in to cover her. No one has stepped in to protect her. I don't know, who speaks with her or who she trusts. But they definitely need to find an avenue and race down it, right? Whether it be her reaching out to the comptroller's office and saying, these are the barriers that I am facing. I need protection or I need help because I want to post my reports and I'm not being allowed to. I mean, I don't know, but she needs to find a lane. She needs to find something if she does not feel safe. And from what I know, she doesn't feel safe to be able to post her reports in spite of what she's being told to do. So there's that. But she needs to find a way, because as an elected official, you don't have an excuse about why you're not doing something. You just have to find a way to do it. Almost like they did in Dalton, where they started the tea with the trustees and they began to do other things, but they banded together. And I think that the treasurer feels like she's on an island and nobody is with her, right? She has no one with her, when that's actually not true. And she needs to begin to look at Tracy and Colby as her allies, and they need to band together and protect each other and figure out what lane they need to go down. The treasurer shouldn't have never been a thought. She should have just hooked up with them in the beginning, because Colby's been arrested. She's been put in jail. So, I mean, ain't nothing more frightening than that when you haven't done anything. And so I think that, all of these conversations need to be had. But they need to team up together and begin to create allies where they can, outside of this administration, to start protecting themselves so that they can release information to the public. At some point, we just have to stop with the excuses and we have to start making a way. I mean, as a single mom, I don't get to make excuses to my kids about why it might not be any food in the refrigerator, because the only thing they're looking at me for is an answer. So, I think it's unfortunate the situation that she's in, but if she feels like she's the person for the job because of all of these certificates and all of her knowledge and all of that, you can't find a way. You got to start finding a way. And I don't know if this video will happen to come across your hearing or if somebody will send it to you or whatever happens. I'm not anybody, but I live here in Illinois. I'm a voter, a registered voter here in Illinois. And I'm just telling you, you need to start reaching out and banding together with the people that are with you about transparency and asking for it and giving it. You are a duly elected official. I hate to see you not get another term because you gave the people excuses and no results. I understand the fear, but we got to fight through our fears sometimes and begin to look into avenues and what we can do. So with that being said, what else? This was an interesting meeting, I can tell you that. When I saw the room begin to fill up, I did not actually know what was going to happen. or what was going to take place. Some of the comments did not shock me. Other comments did. So they didn't really do anything during this meeting as far as business wise. Like I said, they couldn't pass the minutes because Colby did not receive them. Colby and I think Tracy did not receive them. And then they couldn't pass the budget, the bills. They couldn't pay the bills or pass the bills because they didn't have a finance meeting. I don't know who has a finance meeting before the actual meeting, but that's neither here nor there. That's what they do, and they didn't have it, so they could not do that. So let's put up Vivian's video. Shout out to Vivian.
And not the comfortable balance. And that's not what I was doing.
And we're going to go right to public comment so we can unpack some of these things, okay? Let's start with Ryan.
Your name is called, please proceed to the podium. State your name. You may choose to give your address if you like. Please limit your comments to 3 minutes. And first, for public comment, is Robinson Welski, followed by Reverend M.P.
Okay, hold on. Let me take this down. Hold on. Okay, hold on. Let me take this down. Because what I want to do is, you all see how I'm dressed tonight? You see how I'm dressed tonight? I got my hat on. There's a logo on it, but you can't see it because it's in black as well. I have my hat on tonight. Let me tell you, I'm with all the shits tonight. So come into these comments acting crazy. I'm going to act crazy right back because for me, I'm sick of the bullshit. So let's start. Okay, Money Boy Trey. Let's start with this comment right here. How does woman go from survivor to shit talking victim? Now, this is what I want to say. What do one thing have to do with the other thing? Because I can be a survivor and I'm going to talk all the shit I want to. I mean, you got people out here lying on platforms and people believe in it. I mean, I know y'all come over here to stir the pot and start shit and see what I'm going to talk about. This not on my agenda today, but it can be. So, y'all need to start taking note of how I be dressed when I come up here sometimes. Because sometimes I'm going to ignore the bullshit. And other times when I be dressed for it, I'm going to address it. Now, everybody get the right to choose how they deal with things. They're not going to deal with things the way you want them to deal with things. They're going to deal with things the way they want to, and they need to deal with things. That's what they're going to do. And we don't get to choose that. Okay? We don't get to choose how other people respond to the shit that other people be giving them. However people choose to respond, that's their business. And they have the right to do so. They have the right to respond. Now, I think it's funny that you came over here and said that, but my children was attacked by Commander Doodoo and ain't nobody say anything. Lady Luck's children was attacked by Commander Doodoo and ain't nobody come over there and say anything about that. As a matter of fact, if you go over there and you say something about Commander Doodoo, then you get blocked, your comments get blocked, or you get timed out. Now, mods, give me a few minutes, okay? Don't y'all block nobody right now, because you see how I'm dressed. I'm with the shits tonight, and we going to be with the shits. Because I came up here, you see my title, it say Harvey meeting recap. It didn't say I'm up here talking bullshit. It didn't say I'm up here shooting the shit. It didn't say none of that. And I'm not upset with nobody. I'm not even upset with you, Money Boy Trey, because you have the right to feel how you feel, right? You just don't have the right to feel it over here. Because coming from someone who has been attacked, I don't play that shit. And over here on this platform, I'm going to stand up for the people who being attacked. I don't care what you call them. If they're being attacked, they have the right to respond. You don't get to choose how they respond. Now, I suggest if you out there and you wanna stir the pot tonight, you wanna try me tonight with some comments, come on in this chat. Come on in this chat, cause listen, all you gonna do is set yourself up to get knocked down. You gonna jump up to get beat down tonight. I'm not that friend. I'm not that friend. I'm not that friend that's gonna be silent when somebody that I care about is being attacked. I'm not that friend. I'm here to let you know. I may not agree with everything, but they have the right to respond when somebody attacks them. They have the right. And just like that other person have a platform, so do they. You don't like what they saying? Don't listen to them. Now you heard that man. I played that man. I play that man for a reason when I open up my show. And I don't like to be played with. Don't play with me. Go play Atari. I'm not upset though. I don't want you to get this twisted. I don't want anybody to get this twisted. I'm not upset. You have the right to feel, say, and do whatever you want. And so do the person that you're talking about. Always keep that in your mind. When you say shit about people, you don't get to control how they respond. So if they come after you with all the vigor and all of the anger that they have built up inside of them, then guess what? That's your ass. It is a new day on this platform. I thought I had explained that. I thought I had explained it. Because me, I've simply had enough. I've had enough of people sicking people on me. I've had enough of people talking about me and lying. I've had enough of people judging my character and telling people who I am when they know I'm not that person. I've had enough of the bullshit. You either at this point, you either with me or you against me, and that's how I'm gonna take it. If you say something against me, I'm gonna take it as an act of war. If you stay quiet and you don't say anything while somebody attacking me, guess what I'm going to take that as? I'm going to take that as you minding your business, and so am I when something happens to you. Just want to give it a little time to marinate because I know y'all not used to this super. But this super has had. I'm really just tired of hearing all of this stuff. But people have the right to do whatever they're doing. Whatever makes them feel safe, they got the right to do it. And ever since my children was attacked and brought into this nonsense, you finna see this me for a little while. Ever since somebody wrote on their Facebook page that they're not gonna give me too many more passes, like you ever have given me anything, you don't pay not one bill over here. Your name ain't on nothing over here. Like you giving me a pass, sir. You would have been better served trying to pass your classes when you were in school than trying to tell somebody you gave me a pass. Keep on bothering me. My children was the limit. Now, we can proceed like we normally do over here. Everybody ready? Put a 1 in the chat if you're ready. Thank you. And I do apologize to my regular viewers. I know that you're not used to me responding to things, but I am sick to death of people telling me, oh, just ignore it. Oh, don't respond. No, you don't respond. You're not the one being attacked. So it's easy for you to say not to respond. So I do apologize. Do what you have to do, because I'm definitely going to do what I have to do. I didn't get this far not. All right. Now that we have that out of the way, let's continue.
My name is Ryan. I just want to say we are still a city in crisis. We have no access to city financials, and the city literally has been burning. So why did Mayor Clark cancel the last city council meeting? Supposedly the AC was broken again at City Hall. I know several of you, if you come in here, you probably have roasted, you're paying your water bill.
Okay, now I want to talk about that part where Ryan says that the council meeting was canceled basically because the HVAC went out. Now, I truly believe that there was something else going on, because every meeting that I've been to in Harvey, bar the last 2 meetings, the AC was out. And baby, listen, it was hotter than fish grease in there one time. I thought that some of the elderly people were going to pass out. So saying that you closed City Hall because the HVAC was out, when we have been in that room numerous of times with fans on and with fans off, yeah, I don't know. I don't know about that one. So Ryan might have one right there. Hey, y'all, was just quiet while SP handed her business and not let the business hand. Okay, baby, when I got to do it, I will do it. Okay. And at my big age, I don't have no regrets. I burn bridges as necessary, knowing that God supplies every last one of my needs. And sometimes he give me my wants. Okay? Don't nobody be mad. Just understand, I said what I said. So I'm with Ryan on that point. I'm not so sure about why the meeting was canceled. It was not because of the HVAC, because trust me, we've been in that room when it's been Jamaica hot in there.
But why are we paying for, Mr. Mayor, for your 24/7 personal security, a luxury SUV, a driver, and plus cars for city employees to take home, but you won't fix the HVAC system? City workers and the public have to tolerate unbearable heat and cold, but you get driven around in luxury at our expense. Please stop telling us you don't have the money. We've also had several ice sightings in Harvey the past few weeks.
All right. I will say that Ryan also has another point here about stop telling us we don't have any money. You riding around in a luxury vehicle. Let's take a note of a few things that Tiffany started this riding around in Tahoe's thing, and now everybody is doing it. Okay. And you can't see on this camera, on this view, but maybe you will later on. There is a man that sits in the corner. He's really tall, big, huge man. He sits in the corner by the door, and that is Clark's security, and I maybe / driver. I'm not sure, but he does sit over in the corner. I don't know how often he's with him. He's with him every meeting. I would assume that he's with him everywhere when he's actively working as the mayor. And so, yeah, I mean, there have been some villages out here in Will County, I believe, that some of them have gotten rid of and sold off the vehicles that the people in the administration drive. and said we can't have vehicles until we get this budget and this spending and things under control. And so if you're gonna lay off public works workers, the people that you actually need to clean up the city, and that actually handle potholes and water main breaks and trees that need to be cut down and abandoned home properties that need to be cleaned up and businesses that have been boarded up and don't have anybody and they got to be maintained too. Yeah, if you're gonna let them go and still be having vehicles and all these other things, I don't know. Priorities is what I'll say.
Harvey is more than 30% Latino. Many of these residents are working hard to get their citizenship, despite the laws that make it very difficult. They are our neighbors and friends. They pay into our tax system, they fix up our broken homes, and they make the city a better place to live. The last we heard, Jedediah Brown, close ally and associate of Mayor Clark, posted a video saying he called ICE hard. Shirley Gorinsky has been notably silent given the large immigrant population.
Now, I will say that there are no lies detected here. That person did admit to calling ICE. And I will say, once you call them, you can't call them back. And there are a lot of Hispanics that live in Harvey. Succeed in what I do. What I do. Once you call them, you can't call them back, right? So, if they come when you call them and they find some illegal aliens, then they're always gonna come to that area. And they do work and live in the community. Of course, if they're illegal, then they're illegal and there's nothing that can be done about that. But the ones that are not illegal should not be harassed. They should not be scared. They should be able to be going on about their business and taking care of their families and going to their jobs. So, do I feel like Mayor Clark should have released a statement? Maybe. They have been, ICE had, over here in Joliet, ICE was posted up at the courthouse and our mayor released a statement. If you ask me, it was a warning statement to them like, ICE is out here. That's not what he said, but he did release a statement about them being in the general vicinity. So, maybe, if you have a population that is heavily Hispanic and, you just want them to be aware and alert, maybe make a general statement and say ICE is, out here in the south suburbs and we want to be, careful and, compliant or whatever you're going to say. But maybe address the issue because you can't just ignore things that people are seeing as well.
I'd like to hear from each and every one of you and like to hear you speak up during this meeting telling us what you're going to do to keep residents safe from illegal brutal kidnappings being conducted on behalf of Trump. These ICE raids have nothing to do with public safety.
For me, the last part is a little bit excessive because it's nothing that they can really do if the federal government is coming in here and doing what they're doing because they supersede whoever is in authority out here. So, that for me was a little bit excessive. Them stating what they was going to do to keep people safe because, like I said, it's really not too much they can do to keep them safe. Yeah.
Are being rounded up like cattle and sent to concentration camp-like conditions with no due process of law. Agents have been waiting outside of our schools and workplaces so they can kidnap parents and workers, leaving their families helpless and alone.
I want to know what you all think because out in Chicago, a couple of the ICE people were out in front of schools. What is you all's feeling about the ICE agents being at the schools? Do you feel like the kids should be involved in any of this? I watched the video and I should have brought it up, but I wasn't thinking that I really was going to say anything about this. But there was a video put out by a news station. I don't remember what news station it was. But the ICE agents had pulled over these immigrants in these cars, and they took the adults and left the children on the side of the road in these cars. The children are just sitting there. And so some other people came up and they were like, they called the police. I think it was the Chicago police, and they called them and said that the ICE agents came and took their parents and just left them. Hey, nope, not even. How are you? Oh, succeeding. Thank you. And so how are you guys feeling about seeing the kids crying and them being posted up at these schools? Just leave your comment in the chat and I'll read it later.
So what are you doing, city council members and Mr. Mayor? What are you doing to help? So far, I haven't seen anything. We've also had some recent major fires, one on Union, one on 155th, one on 147th. Again, nothing, no publications, nothing on the city site or social media. Public Works needs to immediately board up, secure, and place tarps on all abandoned properties to prevent these fires and break-ins. It's not hard. Let people bid on and purchase these properties in a transparent manner. Taking feedback from residents, not the current system, which gives property to those who have connections to the mayor or his allies. We even have a city history of harassing volunteers who wanted to board up houses. Why would we do that? The city should be welcoming, Mr. Mayor, we should be welcoming volunteers, nonprofits, and churches that want to help, like the great cleanup that we had the other Sunday here in Harvey. Instead of addressing these concerns, however, recently there was a little ceremony of those mini police stations. So one of the buildings open, but what happened to the money for the rest? There's supposed to be 6. I think that that's a great symbol of Harvey city government right now. The city's pursuing projects like those little stations that no one wanted or asked for, and then they can't even finish those. So let's do that.
Thank you. That was a wonderful comment. Thank you. We need Martin King Jr. followed by
Illinois, 216 Capital Boulevard.
Hold on, sir. Okay, one second.
Okay.
Martin King Jr.
Thank you.
Well, we can start. We got this.
Right, that's what I was saying. Hold on.
Good day.
Thank you.
Martin King Jr. followed by Cynthia Wilson.
Hold on. What happened?
I was very disturbed when someone sent me a thing that was on TikTok when Mr. Jedediah saying the person who's complaining about the prostitution was a customer of the prostitute. This wrong.
Okay, now we're going to talk about this. We're going to talk about it. Now, that person that he named, that he mentioned, he did say that. He did say that. Horrible. Why? First of all, are you even saying these things about an elderly person? And this is their community. This is where they live at. So you're saying you're there to help the community. However, you are out there trying to slander the residents that live in the community because they had something negative, or maybe not. I don't remember him saying anything negative about that person. I don't remember him ever even making a comment about that person. Every time he's gotten to this podium, he's gotten up there and spoken on issues that are in his community that he wants taken care of. And that's definitely his right to do. Who are you to come into this community and then begin to tell the people who live in this community what they can ask for and require for their quality of life in their community? But you're an advocate and a so-called alleged national advocates. Now, I don't ever recall any of the advocates of our time even ever doing that in any place that they were advocating in. I don't recall Al Sharpton going to any place that he's advocating for and either allegedly fictitiously making up allegations against someone in a community that he's advocating for, or trying to dig up information on people in a community that he's advocating for. No, never seen Martin Luther King or Malcolm X come up there and say, I seen Sister Doretha down at that store where they be selling crack. I never seen them say that at all about any type of community that they came in to advocate for. So let's talk about advocacy and what that looks like, because it definitely doesn't look like you attacking women, children, the elderly, people that actually live in that community where you are using your platform to advocate for. It definitely doesn't look like that. And you don't have to agree with me. The views and opinions expressed on this platform, this one that says All in the Queue, that is run by Super Producer, these are my opinions. I've never seen an advocate do those things. That person absolutely said what he said they said. That person absolutely did call themselves a friend of the mayor and did include the mayor in their comments. Absolutely, they did. And from what I'm told, that person absolutely did it again and doubled down on it again. Absolutely did. And for what reason? For what reason? Because you called that person's name in his community. See, this be the thing. This be the thing that I don't be understanding about the followers over there. Not you heard that man say that, and your first reaction was to agree with him. What state of the world are we in right now? What black hole have we gone down that it's ever been okay to attack someone's character with no proof? Commander Doodoo, you got proof? You need to bring a prostitute on your platform and ask her in front of us and show her the picture and have her tell us in front of us that this is what he done. Because if not, you need to take all the shuts and the ups and you need to shut the hell up about people you don't know about. That's including me. That's what you need to do. You need to gather all the shuts. See this? This is a shut. See, let me get these. Let me see these papers. See all these papers I got right here? You need to gather all the shuts and put them with your ups and shut the hell up. Because if you're coming in to help the community, then that's what you need to do. That need to be your sole purpose. Not running your mouth about people you don't know. Not digging up information on people that don't even matter. We could give a fuck nor sell a fuck about what this man do. He trying to make his community better. He asking for these people not to be seen. So confusing. I mean, either way, Dave, either way, what is you doing out there talking to the local prostitutes as an advocate? You doing research? What you doing? What you investigating is what I want to know. Huh? That's what I want to know. Because why would you ever twist your lips to run this veteran that has fought for our country down? Why would you do that? As an advocate, a former candidate for Congress, why would you do that? Where is that acceptable? People that look, you little people that be over there on that platform egging this bullshit on because you want to see some shit. Go get you a subscription to the Zeus network, and you can see all of the foolery you want to see over there. But stop egging this bullshit on in real life, because this is real life. Okay, go on over there and get you a subscription to Zeus network. RJ got a little Ray J got a little network too. Go over there to Ray J and he got a little network too that you can, little Ratchet TV. Go and get you subscription. Cause this is real life. And in real life, we don't disrespect our seniors, and we don't disrespect our veterans, and we don't disrespect people in their community. As advocates, you shouldn't be doing that. And if don't nobody else want to tell you, I'll tell you, because I ain't no follower. Oh, okay. Okay. Now that we got that clear. You absolutely did that. That was absolutely a mistake on your part, and you should never do it again. But because you are addicted to likes, views, comments, and people blowing your head up, you gonna do it. And then people want to tell us to ignore you. No, we need to crush you into the damn ground where you belong for disrespecting the people in our community. That's what we need to do. I told you, I draw the line at my children. And I meant that. I've had enough. This has to stop, because this is real life. And in real life, we don't do these things. You don't want people to do it to your mama? Then don't be out here doing it to somebody else's daddy, or somebody else's mama, or somebody else's grandma, or somebody else's sister, or somebody else's cousin. Because let me tell you what these people got. The reason you need security when you go somewhere is because you done run your mouth so much that you scared. You scared to go out there because you done ran your mouth so much that you need somebody to protect you. Stop running your mouth. Stop running your mouth, and you won't have to watch your back. Stop running your mouth about these residents trying to get their community cleaned up. If you're not going to help them, what I say do? Take all these shuts and these freaking ups and shut the hell up. So tired of that. No man I ever came across in my life, my real life, ever disrespected women, children, or the elderly. Never. Not ever. In my 48 years, have I ever met a real man that have done that, gay or straight? Yeah. You got that? Gay or straight. Never met one that has done that. Over here, I ain't gonna tolerate it. Over there, your little Zeus network, little fake Temu, Shein, Zeus network, whatever. You can do whatever you want over there, but I respect the seniors on this platform. I respect anybody in their community going to their meetings and speaking out. You're gonna have a lot of things I know to say about me once you see this video. Once these people that's not getting paid to watch these platforms that they claim they don't even like, once they tell you, oh my God, she was over there talking about you, I hate her so much. Guess what I don't lose? No sleep, and sleep with my drawers off, not worried about what the hell y'all think about me over there. Because if you had the sense God gave you, you'll be telling Commander Doodoo to stop doing that stuff. Because it's making you look bad. That's what you would be doing. You want to change the world? Start with yourself. Yeah, that's what you should do. You want to change the world? You want to be national? You want to be worldwide? Start with yourself. Stop accepting that mess that Commander Doodoo put out on that platform, because that is bullshit that he put out there. And he representing your ass. I don't care. He can gather all the horses, pigs, cows he want to over there. The shit still the same, and it still come out the same hole. This how we dress tonight. We finna get into it. Somebody said Gardis came in here. I can't see him. Where Gardis at? Hey Gardis, how you doing? If you came in here, how are you? I missed you. Oh, I see you. Hey Gardis. All right. Y'all gonna have to excuse me tonight because we just gotta address some things. We just gonna start addressing things when we gotta address them.
And he was a friend of the mayor of Harvey. Now, the question I'm asking, why do you have people attacking you? You need to talk to this guy and tell him, unless he's got some deep pockets, he will be sued and also the mayor will be sued. And I'm serious about that. Mr. Jedediah should have no place in our meeting. He's nothing but an antagonist. You arrested an older person that does far less than what he does in the meeting. So I'm saying this here, keep him out of the meetings. Like they bar other people, bar him. When he attacked me like that, and he also said that person not only just found a customer, he says he dares that person to talk to anybody about it because he said he's been talking to the prostitutes. Now, what kind of thing a friend of the mayor is talking to the prostitutes? I don't understand this. This is crazy. I think Mr. Jedediah should talk to the chief of police, Harvey, and give all the information. And let's have an investigation as to what's going on in the city of Harvey that are prostitutes in the sixth ward. Also, I'm hoping for the future, all right? And we need personal responsibility. We need education for our youth. We need support for all businesses instead of attacking them. We need proper distribution of all funds for the older persons without delay. They need their funding right now and not to be held by the administration to divvy out according to how they vote. They need that beautification money to them right now, and the treasury needs to be involved in it so that there's some kind of a way of showing what they're doing with money. I do admit, I have to admit, there's not many officers as usually is, but it's still too many because as many officers as you have, and I like every one of them, I was the chief myself, but what I don't like is you got city workers laid off, and you got enough police with the money they make, one police can make enough for 3 people to work and clean the streets. And the older person could have a team of 3, each one for each ward to clean up our street. They shouldn't have to clean it up on their own. This is a use of money that's not right and proper. And also, I think the treasurer should be in the meeting, the treasurer should be on the report. The state says that the treasurer is supposed to do, I know there's an ordinance about the treasurer, I know it was written, but guess what? This ordinance is in direct conflict of the state law. And the state law says what they're supposed to do. So if you're making this ordinance or whatever you have, you need to have a controller is allowing the treasurer to say something, because that's what I understand, the finance committee blocked the treasurer the last time from making any kind of reports. And this is keeping information from the public, because they need to know what's going on a daily basis, on a weekly basis. I know you're spending money, you're spending money right now. So why is it that we can't get this kind of report? She's supposed to sit there, I know she's not here, but something's wrong.
Hello.
Okay, now listen. I love this man when he comes up to speak. He always has a point to why he's speaking. There are never any lies detected when he does speak. Okay? And Goddess, I am a little bit frustrated, right? I'm frustrated with just the state of humanity, the things that we are doing to each other. I'm frustrated that if we're going to have change, we got to be the change that we want to see. We do. We have to be that change. corruption is just not here because, oh, it's a disease. No, it's a part of a person. It's a part of their character. It's a part of who they are. They need to change who they are. I'm just frustrated. I'm frustrated with people thinking that it is okay to target people or to be upset with somebody's view, somebody's position, somebody's thought. Everybody have a right to their thoughts. We don't have to agree. That doesn't mean that I have ill feelings for you. It doesn't mean that I'm against you. It just means I don't agree with you. That's it. That's all it means. Don't mean we got to be battling each other. It doesn't mean any of that. It just means I don't agree. That's it. It's not that serious. I don't agree with you. So, it is what it is. I'm just frustrated that these things are going on in our government. People are concerned about them, and we should be more focused on that than we are focused on this petty nonsense that be happening. That's all. Exactly, Dave Bryson. That means that people are going to have to start speaking up. It's just a line. You're going to have to choose. You're going to have to choose. You just going to. And that means when it comes to anyone, corruption don't have a color, a face, or a name. Whoever doing it, I got beef with. Period. So I feel like, I'm just frustrated with that in general. But I like this. I like his comments. He lives in the city of Harvey. When he comes to the podium, he always has the issue that he wants to talk about. He does not divert from that issue. He don't attack people. He talks about the issue. To this particular time, he even gave a solution with an issue that he was speaking about. But I think those things go unheard because the person is not saying what we want them to say. That could be the case, Gardus, because oppressive thinking doesn't take any work. Oppressive thinking doesn't require me to do anything, and it also doesn't require me to be anything. There's no requirements. I mean, I'm saying Dave, it's been a long time coming. I be trying, I really be trying because I'm really a peaceable person. I really just want to be at peace. I want to be at peace. But after this video, again, for some clicks, some likes, and some views, that person is going to attack me. I don't care. Let's start there. So if you're going to report back anything, report back that I said I don't care. Start with that. I don't care. Number 2, I said what I said, and I won't take it back. I will add to it before I take any of it back. And I don't need a pass to your zoo. So I don't need no passes from you. I don't need a pass from your zoo. Okay? I'm not going to be a part of your circus. However, I do know the clowns. Thank you, Dave. I knew somebody would. This is really how I like to dress. This is really how I dress when I go out the house sometimes. Most of the time. But like I said, he always, this resident always comes, with a direction. He doesn't deviate. He doesn't attack anyone. He asks questions, and most of the things that he says make sense.
Next is Cynthia Wilson, followed by Diego Diaz.
so I can't speak too much on it because it's on investigation. But on 152nd, there was shots fired. I was there when shots were fired. My homegirl, she got shot in her leg. And I called Tulane Williams, listener, about 2 or 3 times. Officer Bivens, I called him. He was responsive to me. You know what I'm saying? He can't get away right then and there. He's definitely a chief. I definitely understand that. But Mr. Keys, he reached out to me. I called my alderwoman about 3 or 4 times. She definitely didn't answer the phone. I called her, then she shot me a text message today around 6 o'clock. And then I told her I called her. She still didn't say nothing. Then she turned around and called me back 10 minutes before the meeting started. I told her I'll see you in a minute. This doesn't make no sense. And then Officer Mayor Clark, you fired a whole lot of police officers. Like you fired a lot of police officers that we trusted. You brought goons in that we do not trust. So how do you expect us to want to speak to them if we do not trust them? And then the new officers that you brought in, very disrespectful. And don't know half of the job that they're doing. But for the ones that did contact me and help me out and gave me some insight, the person that got shot, she's doing okay. She's in recovery, she's doing fine. But the people that did help me, I definitely appreciate y'all. Because I was definitely going through a mental state at that time.
Okay, now this young lady, first of all, let me say this. While I'm Dave is apologizing. Make a comment so I can make sure that I fixed. He blocked you on accident. It was an accident. I want to apologize for him. He's apologizing in the comments. Make a comment so I can make sure that that I fixed it. Master G, definitely. And again, Mom Miguel, I want to apologize. Please make a comment so I can make sure that it was fixed. I fixed it. Dave did it by accident. He said he's apologizing in the comments. This comment right here by this lady, her name is Cynthia Wilson. She's a resident. There was some sort of pew that happened on her street and to her friend. And there was I want to say a miscommunication between her and maybe some of the officers. I think this is a bit of a situation like Dalton where you have some officers that need some training when it comes to how to deal with the public. And after the meeting, so you saw Vivian's camera go over to the side and there was a man with a beard standing there. He's like my favorite. He's he's very cordial. After the meeting, actually during the meeting, he mouthed to her and told her, I want to speak with you after the meeting. Nobody told him to do it. Okay, I see you, I'm a gal. Nobody told him to do it. He just did it. And he did just that. After the meeting, he took her outside, away from everyone, and asked her how he could help her. What could he do? What happened? I'm not sure if he knew about the incident or if he was a part of it or whatever happened, but he did get with her and asked her. And, those things are important. And, I think in some ways, this is really the Dalton situation. That a lot of these officers don't agree, but this is their job. This is how they feed their family, and they have to do their job. And for the most part, those orders come down from the chief from the mayor, And so I was glad to see that interaction after the meeting, that he actually did, speak with her to find out what was happening. So I do want to let you know that somebody did speak with her and try to address the situation of whatever happened. And they tried to, see what was going on or how they could help. That was a regular police officer. He does not wear a white shirt. He's a regular officer. And so he did that.
Thank you. And
Oh, also during this, during her comment, I don't know if you heard it. She said that she texted Talani, who is the alder person. I don't remember for what ward, but maybe the third ward, because Colby is the second ward. I don't know what Tracy's ward is. Well, I don't know what ward Talani Smith's ward is, but you know how she be up there popping her neck and talking about people and looking at Kobe. Oh, she didn't pop her neck during this meeting because that lady set her straight. She said, I texted you when this situation was going on. You did not respond at all. Then when you did respond, you called me. I missed the call. I called you back and you didn't answer. And then you're going to contact me or text me 30 minutes before this meeting. Ain't that something? Mm-mm-mm. Oh, this is what my grandma used to say sometimes. Oh, ho, ho. What tangle web we weave when first we practice to deceive. Not you was out there acting like you was the super alder woman, that you could do no wrong and you just wanted the businesses to pay their taxes. Huh? Yeah, we see that you got flaws too, huh? There's stuff going on in your ward that you need to be worried about instead of way over here in somebody else's ward, or talking about somebody else, or critiquing somebody else, or giving constructive criticism to anybody, or being at the scene of somewhere you didn't have no business. Huh? I don't know now. That's just what the lady commented. Public comment. So I can comment on it because it was public. You think she the third ward? Okay, Gardis. I thought so too. Okay, well, listen. Maybe you should start returning phone calls. Maybe you should start visiting businesses in your ward. Because as an older person, that might be in the realm or the scope of your job, is to get a list of businesses in your ward and make friendly older woman visits and ask them whatever you may need to ask them in regards to the business of the third ward. But I don't know now. Don't get mad at me. This is my commentary. And the views and opinions on this platform are expressed by me, the super producer, and they are mine. Anytime you want to, you don't have to come back here. Let's continue, shall we?
as the eagle is.
Have everybody's attention for 3 more minutes, including mayors. I love, appreciate you. That way I know I'm communicating because I see your eyes and you're looking at me and we are engaged with each other. When your eyes are on your phone, when your eyes are on your tablets, when your eyes are doing something else, we're not communicating. You're actively ignoring the comments.
I'm taking notes.
I'm not saying any names.
All right, so I'm just telling you, so when I look at you, you know I'm taking notes.
You take my time back.
All right.
You take my 5 minutes back. Thank you. With that said, I want to say thank you very much for the police presence. This weekend, I had wonderful 2 days visiting with the first time at the church. I've been here for 2 years. Young people dancing. I don't think anything happened. People and families having a good time around. Wow, what could be for our future throughout Harvey. We need to mix more. We need to mix more. I love everybody, we're all brown. Come on down, please, next time. On a personal note, the ordinances are heavy on the homeowners. Please take a look what the staff is doing. Because it's coming down hard on some people, especially people that get up here and talk. We have a lot of work to do. your leadership is required to hold people accountable for the work that they must do on a daily basis, including the amount of black shirts and white shirts that we have here. We have a lot of issues on the streets. I believe the white shirts that are here that are take care of business in the town, while we take care of the red shirt lady in the alley taking care of her business. Black shirt lady has Baptist church is closed down, taking care of her business right down the street. As I walk towards here, I drove around, and that is going on right now. And to see 8+ officers in here, it took breath out of my life, because we know what's going on across the street. With that said, there's a lot of work to do. My name is Diego Diaz. I will be drumming up votes by collecting the registration for our community through the Board of Elections and that process. The library is gonna get more information, my local churches are gonna get information, and that's what I'm gonna do. You're willing to, if you wanna help, get the vote out and register some more people, let me know. My name is Diego Diaz, 312-953-7462. The more votes that show up, the more votes that we can have when we sit in this office. Thank you.
Thank you.
Now, this man right here, he made a comment. I think it was the meeting before last was his first meeting, and he just moved into the city of Harvey. And I love how he's getting coming to the meetings, and he's getting active in his community, and all of those, all of the things. He said that he's able to register people to vote. So he's gonna be getting out wherever he goes and making sure that people are registered to vote in the city of Harvey. And I love that, because the voter turnout is so horrible in the Southland, and we need to change that. And I'm glad that he is getting out and putting himself out there to do that. And my prayer for him is that no one hurts him or discourages him in any way from participating in his government in his city where he lives. Because you need more people who want to participate. So my prayer for him is that, people just take him as he is and welcome him. And, if you want to help him, then help him. His name is Diego. I don't think he was at the last meeting, but he was at the meeting before. And then he was at this meeting. But I like the fact that he even told the people what he was going to be doing. And I like that he's pointing out, things that are disrespectful, and he's a male in the community pointing these things out. And so I'm glad that he's there to do that. And, I think that he should get the Resident of the Week award for being a new member in his community and hitting the ground running and trying to make his community that he just moved into better and a higher quality of life, the quality of life that he wants to have where he lives. Let me see what Dave's doing, because he's doing something and he's coming. Okay, good. Y'all talking. Good. All right. So that was Diego. And listen, while this was going on, I was looking at the police officers on the side telling them, okay, adjourn the meeting. It's time to go home. Because what we doing? Public comment. You didn't have anything else but the mayor's report or whatever. I think he could have forego the report this time. But anyway, we're going to review the report, because the report was hilarious to me.
I'm sorry, if anybody watching, shake your hand. I apologize. Okay. Let's staple. We in intermission.
Child. It was the foolery for me.
It's not real.
Oh no, hold on, I missed
We
something.
made some comments, we will try to do better.
The lies that he just told. Okay, I don't want to miss the lie. Wow, yeah, you didn't miss anything because he absolutely was not saying anything. We about to talk about it.
Thank you for the wonderful comments. Really appreciate everything that everyone has to say. We will,
It be the Tiffany condescending attitude for me. Really appreciate the comments, everything, every wonderful thing that people had to say. Why? Why even say that? Why?
take notes. And for those who have made some comments, we will try to do better. That being said, we want to, well, let me get into this. Talk about Australia. Let's talk about ICE for a minute. Now, this is not something that, of course, you know, like, I do not want to be able to do social media, Facebook. Like I said before, Facebook is not real.
Okay, listen. Did y'all hear what he said, or y'all need to tell me what he said? Y'all need me to tell y'all what he said. Hold on, because this right here, I really wanted to bust out laughing. Okay. Okay, y'all see right there? It says social media and Facebook. I've said before, Facebook is not a real place, is what he said. Now I got a question. I'm sure that Mayor Clark, you'll never see this video, and that's fine. I'm sure that people will be talking shit, saying, I'm sure he don't give a damn what she said. Okay, and that's fine. But here's the question anyway, because this is my platform and I can say what I want. So he says social media and Facebook, I've said before, Facebook is not a real place. Now, this is the question I have. When you talked about the resident, Miss Melissa Crowley, and you posted, I believe it was on the Harvey page, your Ring camera videos, was it not a real place when you did that? Or let me know. Or no. When you told us that you was going to post some receipts and you posted them on the Harvey page, and that page is on Facebook, on social media, should we not consider that a real place either? So we should not consider those receipts because you said you had receipts. You posted them on social media on Facebook, but you don't pay attention to Facebook and social media. Where have we heard this before? Where have we heard somebody say, I don't know because I don't watch them. But yet you talking about everything that they said. So I'm still wanting to know, was Facebook not a real place when you posted on there and told us to go there and look for something? Huh? Y'all politicians have to start making sense when you talk, okay? I want you to start thinking about these rants that you be going on before you rant, okay? Because there was another comment made that I want to address because it really pissed me off. It really pissed me off because the YouTubers did a lot of work. We did a lot of the heavy lifting during Tiffany's time, putting things out on platforms. Everybody did. Everyone, even the people I don't like, everybody. And to hear someone make a comment and say that Facebook lie and YouTube lie, we do. Were we lying when you came on our platforms? Was that before or after or in the middle or during the whole time that all of us were getting our information and all of us were keeping this topic in the news and in trending? Did we lie then? Was it then that we lied, that you came on our platforms and spoke? Was it then that we lied? Huh? See, you politicians need to make sure about what you're saying before you say it, right? Because all of the YouTubers, from Commander Doodoo on down to the person who only got 8 people to watch them, was keeping this thing as a trending topic. So did we lie when you came on our platform and when we was putting out information? When did these lies occur? When did we become not credible? Huh? That's what I want to know. That pissed me the hell off. Because there are some of us out here who are trying to build credible platforms and do investigative, real reporting, true and honest reporting, and keeping to the facts and showing receipts that never lied, unless we lied when you came on our platform. I mean, I'm just saying that comment is really taking me out. The other comment is taking me out is people saying, "Oh, they're outsiders. Don't start listening. You know, they're outsiders. Don't now we outsiders." Well, let me tell you some other outsiders that was brought inside. This is no shade to any of these people that I'm about to list. I'm not upset with any of them. They're great content creators. So don't go out there and create your narrative about the super producer and say that she was talking down about this person, talking down. No, I was not. I rebuke it in the name of Jesus. I'm asking a question. Because for a fact, there was outsiders brought in to help with the Dalton situation. Hannibal is hungry. Nate the lawyer. Pink Book Lessons. Shawan. All of these people were excellent in their reporting in the beginning, and they were all brought in. They was outsiders. I mean, you do have people inside that live here. Myself, Martin G, Vivian. Hell, I even named the people that don't like me. Burgundy Blue is here. Trina is here. But it seemed like to me, all of us was the ones that got disrespected because we didn't have enough followers. We didn't have enough views. for your liking. But we live here and pay taxes. And we out here trying to give the community a voice just like everybody else. Big, small, little, tall, indifferent. We was all out here working. Now, a lot of people not going to like me after this. Imagine me as Lynn Whitfield in Thin Line Between Love and Hate when she set that car on fire and walked away. That's the point I'm at. Because the Bible says that the kingdom of heaven suffereth violence, and the violent take it by force. This is the point that I'm at, because I've had it up to here with people trying to smear my name and say that I'm a backstabber and say that I'm this and say that I'm that and actually have no clue who I am. And I've actually been the most consistent person through this whole entire mess, because the only thing that I have been doing is reporting the truth with receipts. So I'm going to say again, Mayor Clark, was Facebook not a real place when you posted those videos of Miss Crowley peaceably protesting in front of your home? Should we disregard that because it's not a real place? It didn't happen. I'm going to need some of you all to start thinking about the things that you're saying. So don't get mad at me. Don't shoot the messenger for the message. You might miss your blessing if you do. But that's what I'm going to say about Facebook and social media. Because it's all about who you listen to. Who you let feed you. Yeah, who you let feed you is going to determine how much or how little you grow. Catch it. What the kids be saying? Clock it.
I do know that occasionally there may be some times where some people may report something that actually end up being true. But I personally have not got any responses from our federal or state government as far as ICE is concerned. You don't have to, for those of you who have lived here for quite some time, you don't have to talk about how many people from Mexican descent live here in this community. They live amongst us. They have been treated, at least as far as this administration is concerned, as they are part of the family, and they will continue to do so. So the first thing that people try to do, I think, is try to divide us. And last time we talked, does anybody remember the topic of our talk? Anybody over here? Who said that? Together. But even though, you said it too, all right. But even though we've been having that conversation, still gonna have those to try to find ways to divide us. ICE is not a way to divide us. ICE is not a way to try to say that, for instance, your administration is not trying to do anything as far as that's the truth is concerned. From those who say it, once again, show us what to do. You know, already got a man that's running like a kid in a candy shop or a bull in a china shop, doing whatever it is that he wants to do, whatever he wants to do. And so your suggestion is to listen to what the pundits say on television, or what the mayor of Chicago says, or what the governor says, and say, you know what, we're gonna speak out of this against this, we're gonna fight. But I don't know what you think it is. Because just about every place that has declared itself to be a sanctuary city, where has ICE gone? To those places. Okay? If you wanted to just be quiet, okay, sometimes that's just a good idea.
I'm gonna stop this right here because first of all, as an elected official, where did you think it was proper for you to tell grown people to be quiet? Now, this right here reminds me of Balderman Davis from Good Times. He did not know when to shut up, and the only thing he would ever say is, "I am not a crook," which lets you know that he was a crook. Now, where in your right mind, your left mind, your center mind, your back of your mind, did you think that it was proper for you to tell somebody that they should be quiet when their vote literally put your black ass in that seat? I just want to know where you thought that was proper. Public comment is public comment. This reminds me so much of Tiffany when she would be at Dalton sometimes and even at Thornton Township. If somebody says something in a comment that really hit her nerve in her mayor's report or in her supervisor's report, then she would begin to have diarrhea of the mouth and start addressing those things. I'm just saying, where did you think it was proper to tell some of those people in that room that's like 3 times your age or twice your age that they should be quiet? I'm going to say this again. Public comment is public comment, and the public has the right to comment on whatever they want. What they eat don't make you shit. I don't see how any of your comments are relevant to what the residents were making comments about. Eat the chicken and leave the bones. Petty Betty is up here being petty, making comments about things that didn't even need to be made about. I just want to know where you thought it was proper to tell some of these residents that are in their 80s that they should be quiet. That don't make any sense to me. And whether you're trying to do the right thing or the wrong thing, that one right there was the wrong thing. People are going to make comment about whatever they feel necessary to make comment about. If these people are out and about in Harvey and they see ICE around, then they feel some type of way about it, and they have a right to. And they have a right to mention it if they see fit to do so, because they live in their city. That right there, audacity and unmitigated gall.
And maybe you might try, I know it's hard, to let the leaders lead. Sometimes, every now and then, your elected officials may get it right. But in this particular case, I want to see every single person to be protected from what's happening in this federal district.
This man said, let the leaders lead. Was that what you were saying where Eric Kellogg was sitting in that seat? It definitely was not. You was crying and writing letters to Obama and the attorney general at that time to come save you. So what would you be talking about? Let the leaders lead. If you haven't, on my platform, there is a video that I made about Mayor Clark. You should go watch it. On there, there's a copy of the letter that he wrote to Obama, asking them to come and save Harvey from Eric Kellogg. So I know you're not sitting in that seat saying let the leaders lead, because you sound just like Eric Kellogg did when he was sitting in that seat, telling you to let the leaders lead. But one thing I do want to let you know, sir, because it seems like you have forgotten this, that every leader had to first be a good follower. Huh? And I know you smart, and I know you a lawyer, and I know you all of these things, right? But you wasn't saying none of that when you was begging for these people votes. You was eating a whole bunch of humble pie and telling these people, oh, you know, I just want to do what's right for the residents. Huh? Funny how people start talking differently when they get in this seat versus when they got to fight for that seat. Cracks me up. But go off, sis.
And I think that the best way to do it is not to sit up here and start pumping up the chest, because what are we gonna fight with? If Donald Trump sent the feds down here right now, who gonna stop? Your family gonna be gone. But who gonna stop it? So why would you want to egg that man on to get him to come and do the things that you don't want him to do when you know you can't?
If you scared, say you scared. Talking about egging that, talking about felon 47. If you don't egg that man, if you scared, say you scared. One thing I can say about Brandon Johnson, he ain't all there, but he ain't scared. He told that man, don't you send nobody here. We don't want you here. He told that man point blank, this is sanctuary city. We ain't doing that. If you scared though, say you scared. Don't start involving us in your little scared mess. Don't start involving other people in that. If you scared, say you scared. Say I'm scared, and don't be inviting felon 47 here because I'm scared. That's what you should say. Purr. Purr. Let me do like the kids say. Purr, poo. That's what you should say. It's unfathomable as adults that we have to that we have to sit there through somebody scolding us like we children. Like we can't comment on our life. Lord have mercy.
Defend yourself. Doesn't make sense. All we gotta do, because right now, unless of course you know, somebody gonna get on Facebook, what do you call that thing, TikTok, YouTube, or whatever, start making their own comments because they want to get.
Not this man said YouTube or whatever, and he got a whole YouTube channel. When he went on Commander Doodoo's channel, we found out that he got a whole YouTube channel of his own. So for him to sit up here and act like he don't know the social media platforms is astounding to me. This right here be the theatrics of politics for me. This be the shit I don't like right here. This be the stuff I don't like. Because quit playing. Quit playing. You ought to be ashamed of yourself playing with people. Not you sat there and said, what is it, YouTube or whatever? Sir, you have a whole YouTube channel. Quit playing.
And they want to be known, and they want to be seen. And it's not about the community, it's about you. Stop thinking about yourself and think about the community. Even when you get up here talking about the community, you ain't thinking about the community, you're thinking about yourself.
And you darn right. When I get up there and I make public comment, I'm not thinking about nobody but me. I'm thinking about the taxes I pay. I'm thinking about the household I take care of. I'm thinking about the grass I cut. I'm thinking about the bushes I cut. I'm thinking about the mailbox I got to replace. I'm thinking about the gutters I got to replace. I'm thinking about the weeds behind my fence. You doggone right. I'm not obligated to think about nobody else but me. Once I get the quality of life for me together, then I can begin to help someone else in the community. But right now, I'm going to get up here and I'm going to make a comment about things that are affecting me. Yeah, because that's how public comment work. I can't make a comment for Sally Joe down the street because I don't know what Sally Joe is dealing with. I only know what I'm dealing with in my community. And if I can get the things rectified that I'm dealing with, maybe somebody else in the community is dealing with the same thing and they don't have to worry about that because that's something that I commented about and they got taken care of. See how that work? See how that work? Because then the community is taken care of because we all talking about something maybe different that is affecting us. But then the person say, well, yeah, that too. But for me, I think this is more important. Okay, well, you make comment about that. I'm gonna make comment about this. I think this more important. But as long as both issues get taken care of, then the community gonna come up.
What else is going on right now? It's like when people talking about the National Guard. You understand if the National Guard were to come to Chicago, what would happen to Harvey? Okay? What happens to Harvey? That crime starts to move. Crime doesn't disappear. Crime moves. And they're going to head to the weakest link or the places that have the least amount of protection. So that's enough of that. HVAC is fixed. Hallelujah, praise the Lord. So while there are some who have been uncomfortable while you have been paying your water bill, you also have the opportunity to pay online. And you also have the opportunity to drop your payment in the Dropbox just to the north of the building if it's a little too hot for you. But, through the work of, not mine, but through the team, we were able to get the HVAC fixed. I don't know how it happens, so I honestly can't get it. This happens when you try to put good people in good places and they do the jobs that they're supposed to do. There's nothing that says that everyone is going to be perfect, but they still, I think.
Goddess. And I want to say, hold on, let me address some of these comments. And Master G, this man is married to somebody. Goddess, I want to say that you said crime ain't moved from Harvey in decades, and I agree, right? I don't believe that crime is ever going to move from Harvey until you get rid of the people that are condoning it. And the most people that are condoning it are sitting in these seats right here. I think that's the quiet part that nobody want to say out loud. I know that's racist. See, it sound like Charlie wah 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 wah. Child.
Wonderful job. Speaking of wonderful job, I'm glad that somebody acknowledged the fact that the fire department is actually putting out fires. So while we don't necessarily know who started them, we know that fire department is putting out fires.
Sure, as far as I know, nothing has changed about that. Unless something changed when he became supervisor, because you know how that go, right? Some enemies make strange bedfellows when they have the same agenda. Okay, girl. Take that for whatever you want. And for this man to get up here and say that the HVAC system got fixed and he don't know how, but it did, that's scary. This the man you got watching the finances. Anywho,
You say whatever. Ain't that a good thing? That's a good thing. So we are putting down files. So here we go. You got the HVAC fixed. You got the files put out. Let's see what else we got. Oh, just that around. I'm gonna speak on this, okay? And I've spoken to him before. Okay? And he came to me and he decided he wanted to have a conversation with me. Not because I invited him here, because I did not invite Jedediah Brown to the city of Harvey.
That's fine.
Okay? A bunch of people who got bamboozled in Dalton decided that they wanted to invite Jedediah Brown to the city of Harvey.
Now, who got bamboozled in Dalton and wanted Commander Doodoo in Harvey? Because I don't know who that would be. Because Lil Stank is no longer the mayor. So I don't know who got bamboozled, but she no longer the mayor. I don't understand that comment at all. I really don't understand that comment at all. The other comment that I don't understand is the comment where he says, I didn't invite Jedediah Brown to Harvey. I don't see how that's relevant. Objection, Your Honor. Relevance to this conversation. Because nobody asked you if you brought him. Nobody even made a comment about you bringing him. They made a comment about him calling you a friend, and you co-signing some of the things that he be saying or doing. Nobody actually asked you during public comment that I recall of why you asked Commander Doodoo to come to Harvey. And let's I want to recall something too. Because Commander Doodoo has taken down his videos because he knows that there's incriminating evidence in all of them. Let's be clear. When Dalton was coming to an end, Commander Doodoo said that he was not going to Harvey, that he was going to be monitoring Harvey. Put a 2 in the chat if you remember that. Put a two in the chat. Put a 2 in the chat if you remember that. Because Commander Doodoo said that the board of Instigate and Agitate told him that they didn't want to go, that they was not going to go into Harvey. They didn't want him to go in there, it wasn't safe or whatever. The reason it was, but he said that they were going to monitor Harvey, and then he began to turn his attention to Flint. Put a 2 in the chat if you remember that. Because I think that the people that be over there, I don't know, allegedly they be suffering from CTE. Maybe they had their head knocked around. You know, maybe they turned the corner too tight and kind of, you know, hit their head up against the door jamb on the car or whatever. But that is what Commander Doodoo said. Even though he was asked, and let's be clear, he was asked by certain people to come, but he said that he didn't feel appreciated in Dalton, and he was not going to go to Harvey, that he was going to monitor the situation, and he was going to Flint. Put a 2 in the chat if you with me and you remember that. That was before he was kicked out of Flint. Oh, really? Okay. I mean, the fact still remains that that's what he said. Okay. I mean, that's what he said. So I'm not sure who got bamboozled or anything. Tiffany's no longer in office, so that problem is gone. Okay. So I'm not sure who got bamboozled. Nobody asked you if you brought Commander Doodoo to Harvey. Nobody asked that. I didn't hear it. Did y'all hear it in the comments? Put a 1 in the chat if you heard somebody ask who brought Commander Doodoo in the comments, or put a 3 in the chat if you didn't hear anybody ask that. Nobody, as in nobody. As in Somebody said I didn't bring them, as in then me, nobody asked. Somebody, let me know. Okay, because there seems to be some discrepancy, but I want to put on record in my public comment that person said they was not, after Dalton said they was not going to Harvey, that they would monitor the situation and they were going to Flint. Okay. All right. Thank you. I like that for me. All right. I love that. Okay. Okay. He is now claiming that Colby Chapman and her supporters asked him to come to Harvey. Now, listen, Paul. Now, you can get on you can get on Al Gore's internet and you can say anything you want. Nobody can stop you from saying anything you want on Al Gore's internet. Now, the case becomes, should you be on Al Gore's internet saying any and every lie that comes into your head? Should you do that? No, you shouldn't. Now, what I want is proof of who Colby's people are. Because I'm a supporter of Colby, right? That doesn't mean that she told me to do anything. I just support her, right? These be the confusions that be happening during election times. These are the things that people send people to do. They send people to plant these little seeds, right? And if you're not thinking, if you caught off guard, you're like, oh, child, I've been working this week. I done worked 80 hours this week. I'm tired. And somebody say that, and you'd be like, what? Oh, my God. She did that? Oh, my God. French wrench, we don't. I'm just saying. These are comments that are being made. And since those people be over here watching me, because they're going to go back and report. So I want them to have the report clear. Regardless, you like that? This is Al Gore's internet right now, because we deep in some political doo-doo. Okay? Okay? So I'm just saying, because people support her does not mean that she's telling them to do anything. It just means that they support her. She's been a casualty of war. That's what she is. She collateral damage. Right now, she's being made to be collateral damage. The best thing she can do is ignore Commander Doodoo and stay focused on what she is trying to do. She should never address Commander Doodoo. I would pay Commander Doodoo no mind. I'll sit there and be looking like Napo be looking when he be looking at us during public comment like this. Okay? But anywho, there's that.
A bunch of people who were so outraged, or shall I say enraged, by their dislike for a certain mayor, was able to basically get bamboozled, led astray, and run amok to put other people in office without those people even running. And so others invited Jedediah Brown to this town.
Absolutely.
Okay? And he's indicated who invited him. So, but the one thing he didn't say, that it was me. But like any and every single person that gets up here that acts as if they are adversarial to this administration, when he came here, I decided.
So do you see the wordplay? Everybody that get up there and act like they adversarial to this administration. Now, you're adversarial when you ask questions that make sense. You're adversarial when you ask about something that is diminishing your ability to enjoy your property and the city where you live and pay taxes. See that wordplay? You're adversarial to this administration when you don't make comments that they agree with. When you don't come up there and say, well, everything is sunshine, blueberries, and unicorns. It be the wordplay for me.
to respect him and have a conversation with him. And this is where they get upset. Because I had a conversation with that young man. I started telling him about what was going on in this city. And when I started telling him the truth of what was going on in the city, he said, "No, don't you worry about it. I'm gonna go research it myself." What do you call it? Research team? Some class A or whatever, stellar research team? Investigative team, the best investigative team ever. So he went out and did his work. And he found out what many of the people who stood up here and act out themselves in this administration, he found out that there was nothing there. He found out that we have problems. We have difficulties, yes we do. But our family doesn't. But he didn't find corruption, death, and graft. He didn't find us throwing.
I don't know how you don't find corruption when the treasurer cannot even make a report. I don't know how you don't find corruption when the comptroller's report is still not on the website. However, there has been a preliminary report that has been given to the trustee, to the alderman, but the public has not had access to it. Let me use a phrase that they be using so much over there. As it relates to finances, there is no transparency, so there is some sort of corruption. Now, I will say this for Mayor Clark. He is a two-term mayor. In his first term, he inherit the Kellogg administration. So I'm sure that there were loads of things that were upside down and turning me and left, right, center, and all of those things, right? As they are when you take over for someone who was not a good politician, right? So I will give him that first year that he needed to work some things out, find out what was actually going on. But we in the second term, and you are still saying the same things. I inherited. I just want you to know that I inherited. Okay, well, you didn't have a plan. You was an alderman when you inherited this, and you knew the challenges when you was an alderman that were going on. So what you're now telling me is 2 terms later, that will be 8 years later, 8 more years later, you still ain't sorted out nothing? Huh? You said you paid down that $160 million to $149 million, but how did you do it if we don't know, if you can't tell us? We can't see no paperwork, no papers, no nothing. But you're explaining things to people that don't live there versus explaining to the people who do live there. Make that make sense. But when they ask you about it, they're adversarial to the administration, asking about something that they have the right to know, that they have the right to even FOI and still not being answered. I'm trying to get this figured out about this investigation and these questions and these answers and these actions. That's what I'm just trying to ask those questions because I'm not the brightest bulb in the box. But if I can't get no answers about the money, I really don't care about nothing else. Because the money is what I got a problem with, because my city looking like it's looking, and I don't know why. And all I keep hearing is, I inherited that bad administration 8 years ago. That was 8 years ago. Is there something that you're not telling the public? Blink 3 times if you are afraid to tell us what Kellogg did. Blink 3 times if you need somebody to rescue you, because you could be a victim. I mean, we need to know. I'm saying we can wonder, how do you not find any corruption when you can't get any transparency about the dollar amount, the dollar that's in the bank, the dollars that's going in, out? We can't. So no, we can't. I'm an adversary because I'm asking you. Okay, fine.
Elderly women out of their homes. He didn't find us doing that. Oh, and speaking of elderly people getting out of their homes, you know, we had the last 2 homes on the block of Myrtle to be sold, or basically to MWRD for that detention pond that nobody wants. Those 2 houses sold for $528,000.
Now, first of all, I was really pissed off about this because how dare you tell these people's business? Now, if somebody want to know, all they have to do is go to the proper website and the proper place and you can find out, right? That's not an issue, right? They can do that. But how dare you sit there and tell their business and weaponize that against them? Now, let's talk about this because I have a FOI from the MWRD that we're going to be going over, right? And it tells you every little thing about this retention pond thing and about the pricing of the homes and the purchasing of the homes, right? And let me tell you something about this $528,000. This is 2 homes, right? This was 2 homes. 2. That would mean if you split that number in half, let me, I want to get this correct. I don't want to be guessing. I mean, I can guess because I know, I know my numbers, but I don't want to. So $264,000 each is what they got for 2 homes, 2 families, 2 homes, right? Now, let's talk about the state of the market right now, the housing market in Illinois. Let's talk about it. What type of home are they even going to find a home comparable to $264,000 versus what they built over time in the homes that they lived in Harvey? $264,000, right? That's not a lot out here in this market in Illinois. So anything that they bought, if they're trying to be in something that was comparable to what they built, that was paid for in Harvey, they're going to have to add their own money to it or now take out a loan to cover any overage. So the MWRD will give them $264,000 and that is it. They do not cover the closing costs. They do not that is what they got paid for their home that they lived in, paid off, maybe renovated, probably looked beautiful on the inside. Okay, Gardis, tell these people, please. Tell them. Okay? So now these people had to go on a hunt for 2 homes that was comparable in comfortability to what they needed that fit their family makeup, which they had built in the homes that they lived in. Okay? Now they had to go somewhere else to another village and find somewhere else to live with this money. 2 homes, not one, because it's 2 families, 2 homes, not one. Sure, Clark did not have to pull $500,000 from anywhere. The MWRD brought those home. The Metropolitan Reclamation Water District brought those homes because they took those homes for a retention pond. Sure, I heard by the pools that some squatter is already in their home. So I'm just saying $264,000. You have to find you're gonna say, okay, what village do I want to live in? I think they picked South Holland. So let's go to South Holland. Cause while you sitting up here acting like they didn't just picked up a big old payday, let's look at it. And this is two families, not one. I don't know the makeup of their family, right? They had their family homes. They probably put a lot of work into them and built them to suit the makeup of their home. So they had enough bedrooms for everybody. They built everything out. You have to remember that. Okay? You have to remember that. So let's look at these numbers over here for South Holland, because I think that's where they moved to. Now, if you remember the night the squatters were there, Mr. Poole was still in his home on the corner, and they went by his house. His house was a 2-story home. Look over here in the far right corner. These are shotgun homes, 3 bedrooms, 2 baths. What if that's not enough bedrooms? I said we have 2 families, 2 homes to move. I don't know what the makeup was. But look at the pricing already. $189 for 3 bedrooms. How many bedrooms did they need? This is only a 3 bedroom. That's tight if you have, let's say they had 2 families in there. I don't know what the makeup is. I would have to ask Carlita what the makeup of their families, adults to children and all of those things that they had living in those homes. But look at this pricing. 4 bedroom is $215,000. That barely, the 264 plus closing costs is 215. You got to pay closing costs. That don't barely leave them any money to move their stuff. And I don't think that the MWRD gives them any money for that. This is a 5 bedroom, 4 bath. It's 259. That would take all of that 264 with no money left to move. This here, 3 bedroom, 3 bath, 285. Right? So it wasn't a lot for 2 homes that they probably rebuilt and customized to fit their living, made comfortable for them. Yeah, Winky Wonder. I think there was 2-story homes, you know? So they had really, probably remodeled and built these homes to customize for their family living, whatever that was. They could have turned these homes into apartments, on the inside. I don't know. All right, let's go. Hold on, y'all. My children. Hold the line. Can y'all hear that? Hold on. act like y'all not even able to hear. Is it playing? Can y'all hear it? Allegedly, sure, yeah. Hold on one second. Y'all hold the line, please. Talk amongst yourselves. One of my children is calling me. Hold on. All right, I'm back. Can y'all hear me? What y'all talking about? I think I answered Sher's question. Sure, but they said they don't get flooding there where the retention pot is going. No, they don't. That is what they said. And so I don't know how that's going to help. I'll tell you my opinion when we do go over the FOIs that I have from the MWRD. Okay? All right. Could y'all hear this? Because can y'all hear it? Is it playing? Hold on, let me see. Nope. I see y'all not hearing it. Hold on one second because I'm gonna have to go out and come back in. Hold on. Hold the line. Okay. StreamYard be acting foolish. We back. Let's see if we can hear it. See if we can hear it now.
I will turn them off in one. But I know doggone well, if we can fix it, we'll fix it. If we can do it, we'll do it. And we do it with the resources that we have. If you really want to see us improve, help us get more resources. So we can do more, we can do better. You can threaten to sue a lawyer all you want, but that's just like a Tuesday. So that doesn't mean anything. You think that when you're suing the city, that you're suing me. You're not suing me. I'm not making any moves to put myself in a position personally to be sued by you. Many have tried to sue me personally, and many have failed. Because I'm not going to do anything, I've told you over and over again, I'm not going to do anything to embarrass myself, to embarrass my family, and to jeopardize my law license. I've said that. But when those people who say they love Harvey continually sue the city over and 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 over again, that costs us more money in legal fees. Ain't that right, attorney? That costs us more money in legal fees. And it's not coming out of our liquor. That's coming from the people. That's money that we could use to do those other things that you say that we should use them for. But instead, you choose to sue the city.
I think this whole part of this speech is hilarious, where he says that you can't sue me. I don't do anything. Listen, Lil Stank said all of those things. And guess what? One of them judges made her get her own lawyer. Matter of fact, Bert Olderson and them, they separated her out of one of their lawsuits, so she had to get her own lawyer, and the person is suing her personally. So tell me how they can't if there is a situation to which they can. Now, I believe that older gentleman that stood up and said his public comment, I don't know, because you admitted that you had a conversation with Commander Doodoo. So I don't know how that's going to go. And these judges, they get to decide. One thing we do know about the judges in Cook County, though, is that some of them are loyal to the machine. So does Harvey have as many lawsuits as Dalton or Thornton Township? I don't know, Paul, but I know that they have a fair amount. They own self. I know that they have had to go into executive session and do some payouts for some lawsuits. So yes, sir. They have plenty of them, probably. Dave Bryson, I don't know what happened with that lawsuit, but I think that Trina has said something. You might can catch her. I know that she's been following some of the cases. I know, I think somebody said that a lot of people that were a part of that case were filing motions to dismiss and all of those things. That's all I know. So him saying that he can't be sued individually, I think that Lil Stank proved that that's a lie. I think that she proved that by a lot of things that are happening to her and still happening to her that she's going through right now. So there's that. Lord, let's see if we got to listen to any more of this.
Over and over again with these frivolous lawsuits. Every day you might get lucky because a blind squirrel will find a nut every now and then. But the bottom line is, you're suing your own city, the same place that you say that you love, putting it in even more dire straits. That money could have been used to fix the HVAC system. And then we could have had a community solution meeting on that day. That's what could have happened. You're hustling backwards. I ain't never seen them like before in my life. There is no beautification fund. When I was sworn in 2015, along at that time with Lamont Brown, 15 minutes before we were sworn in, the city council had a meeting and they took the beautification fund away and they gave it to Public Works. Okay? Now there are some dollars that have been allocated for certain.
Now I have a question. He's saying this, right? But, politics is about having to work across lines, right? You have to work with people you don't necessarily like and that don't necessarily like you. And you have to represent people that you don't like and don't necessarily like you, right? That's a part of it. So, where is the compromise? Where's the compromise if you have aldermen that are trying to clean up their wards, that are trying to beautify their awards? Where is the compromise? Is it because you're not a part of it? Is it because you're not being given credit for it that you don't want to find a compromise or help them find in the budget how they can get a minimal amount of money to beautify their awards? This is not what I would call political democracy. This is not what I would call that. Right? Because there's loads of compromises, gives and takes that we have to do when we're trying to work across the aisle with people that we necessarily do not align with. So, I'm not sure how this comment helped him at all, but go off, sis. Go ahead.
Some things as far as what all the persons are supposed to do within the scope of their duties. I don't want to have a conversation about the scope of duties, because if we have that conversation.
So I'm confused about the scope of duties too, because lately I've seen Kobe cleaning up her ward. I saw her have some back to school things in her ward. I don't find any of these things to be out of the scope of an alderperson. If a resident calls on them to show up somewhere that something is happening or they're having an issue with something, I believe that's within the scope of an alderperson. So I'm confused as to what he's trying to get at. Again, I'm going to say this again. Is it because that you were not given any credit? You're not being called? That you don't want to see these alder people succeed? Because a good attribute of a leader is someone who can formulate a team and have each person on that team succeed in whatever it is that they're doing. That makes you look good as the leader. So are they supposed to sit there and just let their wards be dirty? Are they supposed to sit there and let their kids do nothing for the summer? Give them nothing for back to school? I don't know. I'm so confused. Maybe he can clear that up in the next one. I don't know if he fined them, sure. I don't think he fined them. But I don't know. And it was actually a community and a nonprofit organization that came together with the alderperson who was Colby of her ward. And I think Tracy, maybe they did some cleanup in his ward too. And they just came together and cleaned up some trash. They bagged it up so that Public Works wouldn't have to do it. And they just had it, bagged and stacked so that all Public Works had to do was come and pick it up. So I don't see what the problem was or is, but that's what happened.
We'll find out that a lot of those things are outside the scope of the duties. But we're not going to go down that road.
To me, just you need receipts. I need to know what is in and what is out of the scope of an alderperson. I noticed that a lot of these people be talking and they never list or they never post what it is that they are actually did or didn't do or not supposed to do and did do or whatever. They're just saying that it's stuff they're not supposed to do. They're not supposed to help the residents that voted for them or even the ones that didn't vote for them. They're not supposed to help them. I don't know.
It's the seat. You want the seat, come take it. You can make those decisions. But until then.
I mean, that sounded just like Lil Stank right there. You want the seat? Come take it. When nobody actually said anything about the seat. Nobody actually said anything. Why are you upset? Nobody's actually said anything.
You got to respect the one that's in the same way I did beforehand. And because
so it was disrespectful to organize a cleanup for the city, for the part of the city. I don't know. I'm confused.
We have the finance and what is like. And the 2022 audit should be done very soon. Am I correct, Ms. Davis? Very soon.
I will say I'm glad that they have a plan for these audits and that they are getting these audits caught up. That was a lot due to the Dalton situation that brought a lot of light on all of the municipalities that were behind on their audits. So I am glad to see that they do have a plan formulated to get these audits back and current up to date. I mean, that is a great thing.
And then we have a plan and strategy to come up current on the following two after that, within, what you say, 18 weeks? So we'll have that done. Then what will you say in that? Because you won't say, oh, okay, you finally got it done, then you just look for something else. When we laid off people, we did not lay off our sworn personnel. Our sworn police officers, we didn't lay off our sworn firefighters. We didn't do that.
I don't even understand why he's addressing this. It is almost like you are hurt by every comment that somebody made. Maybe he was just in his feelings last night, because I don't understand addressing. I mean, the public works people are gone. There's nothing that they can do about that. And as far as the officers are concerned, you're saying that you didn't lay anybody off, but you then further go on to make a statement and say, if you don't see them there, then they deserve not to be there for whatever it is that they did or didn't do. I don't know. And then you proceed to berate them and say, well, ask them, can they release their employee file? If we can release your employee file to them. In all actuality, we don't have to have permission for you to release their employee file to us, because they work for a governmental entity, and Freedom of Information Act allows us to FOIA for their employee file and receive it with no questions, because they work for a public governmental entity. Okay, so anyway, go off, sis.
Okay. What happens is I guess some people want us to exchange public works for our first responders. Back in 2018, when the previous mayor laid off half, I'm gonna get to that, don't worry. You know I am. Back in 2018, and just so you know, she's a friend of mine too, so we banter back and forth like this. Well, they are. But hold on. Back in 2018,
that was so inappropriate, because that woman came and made a comment as a resident. Her knowing him was irrelevant to the comment that she made. For me, you and your feelings, sir. You a little hurt. I don't know why or how, but you a little hurt that she came and made the comment that she made. And she said what she said. She said what she said. That to me was very unprofessional that he did that. Almost trying to embarrass this lady for making her comment. Sure, nobody can get the budget numbers. So we can't break down anything because we can't even get the budget numbers.
the previous mayor decided to get rid of half of the police and fire department. Half of the police and fire department. He laid off those people instead of laying off his sister and his cousin. Instead of laying off his friends who weren't sworn personnel, he decided to lay off people who were important to our city. Or let's put it this way, because I'm not going to say important because that's to make it seem like somebody at least important. But we know that we keep fire and we keep police.
First of all, again, he's talking about Kellogg. That man been gone 8 years. Why do you keep talking about him? Because you've been in that seat for 2 terms. You've been in that seat for 2 terms. Why are you still mentioning Eric Kellogg and trying to put these things off on him now? Again, how is he relevant to this current conversation?
Because if we didn't, we wouldn't have had someone in the audience saying, "If we put out fire," ain't that right? We put out fire. And why we put out fire? Because we didn't lay them off. Now, as far as
They are not the only ones that responded to those fires. They have a call system, and a lot of the surrounding cities also responded to those calls. So Dalton can respond to calls, Riverdale, Dixmoor, all of the surrounding municipalities that are near Harvey can respond to those calls if they're available and in that area, close to that area. It is the Maybach system that they be using. So I'm still confused about that too. Okay, bye.
some of those folks that some would like for us to keep on the force, those people are fired for a reason. And I'm gonna leave it at that. If you
First he said he didn't let go of nobody. Then he said those people were fired for a reason. So did you not let go of anybody, or did you fire them for a reason? Because she said you fired them, and then you said you didn't fire nobody, and then you said they was fired for a reason. Okay, bye.
wanna go talk to them and tell them to release their file, release their personnel records to you, you can go ahead and do so. Have them draft the letter, have them fill it out, get it on right, bring it in here. We'll send it over to the lawyers and we'll have their personnel record released if they're willing to do so.
And I'm going to say this again. Why would I have to go ask the officer to sign a paper to release their personnel file when their personnel file is public information because they work for a governmental entity, which we can FOI. Okay, bye.
But if there's a single one that think that they were so innocent that nothing should have happened to them and they shouldn't have been terminated, put it on the table and let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Well, I'm not going to discriminate against a person because of their age. So what we are doing is we are looking for good police.
She yelled out, you talking about somebody who is 12 years old. He said he not going to discriminate. So he talk about women, children, and old people too. Okay, bye.
And in the words of my police chief, crime what? Crime down.
Can crime be down if you report it a way that doesn't calculate crime properly? I'm asking the question. If I fill out a report and I label it under another charge or something different, can crime be down? I'm asking the question. Okay, bye.
That's right. Celebrate your check. Okay? And that takes a lot of work. And you, and you, and you. And I know it's
Or let me say this. Or if this another question. I'm sorry. Or if I don't allow a resident to make a report, or I don't make a report on an incident, can crime then be down? Okay, bye.
some of y'all brothers ain't here. But y'all are, because you're doing what you're supposed to do. And you, and those out there, they're helping to keep this place safe. And I guarantee you, when you get your hand right to the rack, you're going to hope they was there too. Okay, so.
Can we talk about response times? Because some response times are very, very high. Okay, bye.
Once again, we're not perfect, but we are doing our best. I want to first agree with what was said. We need more votes. It's probably one of the most.
This meeting could have been over 30 minutes ago because he's sitting here rambling about nothing. and it's not helping him. All of the things that he rambling about. And Master G, I completely agree with you. Okay, bye.
Certain things that I heard as I was listening. We need more votes. We need more people to participate in the process here in the city of Harvey. When I got into 2019, I did a video. And in that video, I talked about how people from the federal government, state government, and the county government pay attention when we vote. They also pay attention when we don't. They also pay attention when we don't. Now, generally, one would probably not push for that because most incumbent mayors and most incumbent elected officials would like to stack the deck to their side.
Why do this sound like electioneering? Do y'all remember when Lil Stank used to make all of those monologues? We used to have to sit there through a monologue. Okay, bye.
And they know that if they get more people out to vote, that may change the dynamic. That's not my concern. I'd rather see you vote. Change the numbers. Because if you change those numbers, I can guarantee you that all of those elected officials will be coming here, courting you for your vote. I can guarantee you that every last one of them will start sending the much needed dollars so we can operate appropriately in this city. If you vote. And here's the
Winky Wonder, he a 2-term mayor. He's a 2-term mayor, too.
kicker. They don't care for all intents and purposes who you vote for.
No.
They just want to know you vote.
Yep.
That's all. They want to know that you are voting because it's that important. We need those numbers to go up. We need to outshine any community.
Okay, I'm tired of this. I can't listen to Charlie Brown anymore. Okay? Okay. That's my recap. Because, child, what we gonna do with that? It sounds like an electioneering to me. He would be more entertaining if he were more ghetto like Tiffany. Like Tiffany, his mayor's address shows his concept of conversation is filibuster. Exactly, Paul. Exactly. He finna bore us to death. He finna bore us to death. Okay? And just be talk about that. Anywho, that's my recap of the Harvey meeting. There was no township meeting today. So I didn't go because there was no township meeting. And so I don't think that the mayor of Harvey is being completely transparent, especially when it relates to the finances of things. I think that this was maybe a bigger task than he imagined that it was. And I think that he learned of some things that possibly scared him and that he possibly did not know about. And so that's his choice of how to deal with it is how he's dealing with it. That's my opinion. That's my opinion. Do I feel like he's stealing anything or taking anything? No, I don't feel that. But I do feel that there are some things he do not want to reveal to the public because he was caught unaware and he did not know. And he don't want to make himself look unintelligent. People have egos out here, big ones, when it comes to politics. So there's that. For my private for what business was conducted. They they passed 2 ordinances. One was about the water system, and the other one, it was about the 157th Street construction that they're gonna get started. Those were the only 2 things that was done. And so for my private community, we're gonna get back to our cold case, civil case. We have the accounts to read, and then we'll have a wrap up. And then we got loads of directions we can go in. I'm working on loads of things for the channel. You may see a few videos from me next week instead of lives because I will be on vacation. So we'll see what happens. I'll try to pump out what I can in the time that I have with some things. Right now, I got some things I'm working with. Okay. Thank you guys for sitting in with me on my recap of the Harvey meeting. I'm sure that it wasn't as entertaining as you thought it should be. I'm sure that you don't care nothing about it. I'm sure that nobody will watch this, and that's just fine. As long as it's here for people who intelligently think and who want to know the facts and who want to talk intelligently about the subject, then you can come here and listen. Listen, anybody got any questions for me? Love the new look and attitude, SP. Love the cuff. Thank you, Dave Bryson. Let me say thank you to all of my mods. Nope, not even. Dave Bryson, Shanita Lanier, Foxy 2 Roxy, Jody. Is that all we got? I think that's all we have. Golfer. I haven't seen him in a while. I need to call him. Golfer. Thank you all. Oh, Justin. Thank you, Justin. Thank you all for being mods on this channel. I really appreciate you. Thank you for making it a warm and welcoming environment for the people who come here to chat and express themselves. I really appreciate you for that and all that you do on this channel. I find you riveting and the chat is captivating. Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. I thank you for that. All right. Next time y'all see this hat, y'all know what we doing. I got a lot of hats. Okay. Well, I got a lot of hats. I might have to start wearing a couple of times a week, but we'll make it. We'll get through it. We'll get past this. Okay. All right. You guys enjoy the rest of your evening. Enjoy your day tomorrow. Super producer wishes nothing but blessings for your life. If you can't be good, be quiet. When you say something to someone, you don't get to choose how they respond. Remember that. All right? I love you, and I mean it.
I hope you
wake up.
And your dog
And your
licks your
dog-
makeup.
Hey, Paul, toodles.
And you can't find your shirt. I hope you go on a date and your man asks for space with no place for excuses. I hope he chuck deuces. I hope all your plans fail with no money for bail and you end up in jail, but you live to tell the tale. Where your space is invaded